Your paper Roonies. What's going down? Welcome back. Welcome. Yeah. Today is currently Monday, the 13th of January. What's happening, MC Kai? What's going on? Hope you're well. Big up your chest, brother. Yeah, so basically what we're going to do today is I'm going to go over and I'm going to set some goals and I'm going to set some plans that I want to do MC-wise throughout this year, and I'll go through and tell you what sort of already down in stone things that I'm going to do this year that are already like definite, and things that I'd like to do and we can hopefully make, you know, become a reality and stuff like that. So 2019 was a really good year for me, but there were some things that I still wish I had have done, which I hadn't obviously done, that I would like to do this year, that I just, for one, maybe never got round to doing it, or for two, just didn't have the right people in my friendship zone to help me do them things. So obviously we've already got some gigs underway this year. We've already got some gigs that are going to take place. One actually in just under 2 weeks, which is Stomping's first birthday. Now unfortunately this one's an old flyer actually. Let me go ahead and bring that new one in. There we go. Yeah, this one's the new one with Rob IYF, Paulo, JD Walker, all of that shiz. Actually that one's still an old poster. You see where it says more to be confirmed. I'm not sure if I've got the latest poster. Let me have a look. No, I actually don't. There's actually 2 more DJs. I can't remember their name. I know one of them's DJ P, and I think the other one was Creaky or something like that. But yeah, so we already got this obviously set down in stone, Stomping, the first birthday obviously, and then February I am actually booked for one day in February. It's actually, I believe, I think it's something like the 15th of February. Let me just double check on that for you. I know I'm pretty positive it's in the teens of February. Yeah, it's the 15th of February, so that's a Saturday. To be honest with you, I could come out and tell you guys exactly what this booking is. I could like give you every bit of detail that I know if I really wanted to, but I would just rather wait until the flyer's released. You can actually go onto this event page on Facebook, and it'll be like wrote down on this event page that I'm actually doing the gig. But because I've got so many people on my friends list through Facebook that claim to support me and follow me and all this, like, you know, I could be sort of put in that event page, you know, for months on end that I'm doing the gig, and I guarantee you like hardly anybody would know that I'm doing that gig. I would share the event and no one would probably click on it. So to be honest with you, like, I can kind of be down as doing the event within that event page, but I could still keep it top secret at the same time, and I guarantee that hardly anybody would know that I'm actually doing this event. It's the same. I went through and invited a whole ton of people to this event, and out of the people that I actually invited to do this event, only a small dose of people actually responded to this event, either clicking going or interested. And I think actually, as a matter of fact, from where I live, there was actually one person out of where I live who actually clicked on interested. One person actually clicked interested out of who I invited from where I live. So yeah, and then obviously we switch things up and we go to Keeping It Core, which is down in Birmingham. DJC, MC Restless, which I can't wait to head down and do some business with Keeping It Core. I'm looking forward to it. It's from what I've seen, they seem to get a pretty lively crowd in there from previous Keeping It Cores, and they seem to bring a good atmosphere, and everyone just looks like they're enjoying the music and having a good time, which is what you want within an event. Now, I went to an event last year, the day before this is set to take place, so a year ago to the day before this takes place, and I was only a guest. I only got told that I could jump on the mic if I attended this event. So I went to the event, paid to get in, obviously, normally, like you do. I'm not going to lie to this person who created this event. I'm not going to name or shame anybody, but he had a fair, like, decent crowd, and he had a busy atmosphere. What's happening, Paul Allen? You know, the club was filled. There was a lot of people, but what the people were wasn't really my sort of scene. Now, I'm just going to say this: you go to places like Alliance, you go to places like Stomping, you go to places like what you see in the videos in Keeping It Core, and you see everybody all there like a family and having a good time. With this event that I went to last year, there was people having a good time, people enjoying themselves, but there was a lot of, you could tell the range. Like, I don't want to sound like harsh to anybody, but it was more like chavvy, it was more druggy, and there was a lot more like arguments and people like falling out and people just sort of like really doing what they want and going where they wanted, and people like who would be absolutely like, you could just tell like they would be absolutely off it on drugs. You could tell just by looking at them. Although the music and the night was still enjoyable, do you know what I mean? But then you go to these other ones and you see everybody just having a good time and enjoying the music, and to be fair, like, that's the rave I prefer. But I got asked originally to do this event this year, the one that I went to last year. That's true. Yeah, pretty much, Paul. But yeah, I got asked to do it again, but I'm not going to go into too much detail. But the guy who runs the whole event for me just isn't really. The guy rips people off, basically. I'm not going to name anybody, not going to name the event, not going to name people, not going to name people I've spoke with about this or anything, but this guy just he rips people off, right? And this is how I'll tell you for a fact that he rips people off, okay? So basically, he put a post on Facebook quite a while ago when we knew that he was bringing this event back this year, and he said there was 2 headliners booked. One of the headliners fell out with him years ago through being ripped off. They didn't pay him for doing the gig, right? And then mysteriously people started wondering and saying, well, didn't they have a fallout years ago? Then miraculously the post disappeared where these 2 headliners were supposedly confirmed. And then the second thing, the guy needed all of the wristbands to sell before he could release the flyer. Now, what me and another person think, why the reason this is we think that he needs the money from the tickets to buy, to pay for the headliners to come to the event. And basically he's also at the same time, from what I've heard, he's putting a lot of local people on. So I think that these headliners, I think they can't be like completely confirmed, and if everything goes, let's say, tits up or goes spare, and let's just say he can't afford these headliners, then he's got he can still run the event with all the local people, which he won't even be paying to do this gig. Like, there'll be people that come from Scarborough to do this gig. There'll be people that come from some other towns to do this gig, and they won't see a penny. And this is my sort of, you know, this is sort of what I think is going down. But the point is, I'm going to do the Keeping It Core, and apparently there's two people organising this event, so there's two rooms. I got told by the person that's organising room 1 that I would be in room 2, but the person who's organising room 2 didn't actually have me planned for room 2. So it's just like, you know, I could have this all wrong about the event. You know, I mean, last year was a bit of a blur as well. I could have got things wrong, but personally I think Keeping It Core is going to be a bit more better for me. Do you know what I mean? Am I an expert in rave music? No, by all means not, but because I've been to a fair few events, I've got my own sort of opinions on what I think is a good one and a bad one. And what I think a good one is where everybody's raving and everybody's having a good time. Everybody's, you know, putting their hand around each other's shoulders, having pictures with each other, having a laugh, getting shots in for each other. Not loads of people, you know, arguing and starting on each other, and everybody crowding out, running outside to see some big fight go off, and, you know, bouncers coming past you every few minutes to drag somebody outside. And do you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm really sort of going by. Like, I prefer it when everybody's, you know, more in a happy vibe. And through other events that I've been to, from what I'm aware of, I've not seen one fight. Not one fight. I've been going to an event for just under a year, and not one fight. So, do you know what I'm saying? So, in my personal opinion, that's the sort of thing that I prefer, when everybody's happy, everybody's getting along. But, you know, I could have had this wrong about this guy who's running this event. But me personally, I think this Keeping It Core will be more better for me. And I don't just mean atmosphere wise, I mean like to take the next step, to go further within the music. So we got Keeping It Core anyway, and then we go back to Alliance. So when Alliance do their event, when they bring Alliance back, I got made an Alliance resident in late last year. So yeah, Keeping It Core will be sick. I mean, we got the man like DJ C, but the thing is about that other event, like, why would you need to sell all the tickets first to release the flyer? Like, if you ask me, would you not have a better chance of selling the tickets if you had the flyer out there with the headliners on? So you probably haven't been to a real rave. I've been to a few raves, but you see, the thing is, I've gone to a lot of local raves. Like, you know, like this Alliance is local, it's in Scarborough. They promote a lot of local talent. You know, I go to Stomping in Hull, they promote a lot of local talent. Now, don't get me wrong, we got Rob IYF on this lineup. You know, I've listened to Rob IYF and hardcore for years. Paul O, JD Walker. Never thought I'd obviously be on a lineup, obviously, you know, surrounding these people. But oh yeah, talking about well, I was only born in the 90s, so, but my parents, they went to the 90s. But the thing about me is, music to me isn't about, like, you know, I love the music, so do you know what I mean? Like, it's about the music for me, not about condolence and, you know, all the whatever you want to call them. So do you know what I'm saying? So it's just all about, you know, it's all about the good stuff. Yeah, you do go to I know who you are. Yeah, I know exactly who you are. Go on, son. Big up your chest. I know exactly who you are. Go on, lad. Go on. Yeah, rocking it, aren't you, man? But yeah. So anyway, we're sort of going off topic here, but I'm booked February for something that I'm not going to say just yet, and like I say, we'll be back in Alliance when Alliance take off. You know, when Alliance get going, I'll be back with Alliance, and I'm also booked somewhere else as well, but it's not like a definite booking. They had an event just recently, and the event, let's just say, it didn't do too well. They paid a lot for the venue. They had it actually at the Scarborough Spa. They got some headliners down, and I think even some people didn't turn up for sets, and it wasn't really a good time to put the event on, really, if you ask me. It was after Christmas, but it wasn't like Boxing Day. It was like a couple of days after Boxing Day. Now, a lot of people go out Boxing Day. Some people go out Christmas Eve. To me, a couple of days after Boxing Day was a little bit of a stupid day, if you ask me, to put an event on, just because, you know, people would be staying in, really, and, you know, saving for New Year. You know, in between Christmas and New Year was, to me, was a little bit of I guess, a bad time. But anyways, he's going to do another one, but he's going to find another venue. And if he finds one, he's going to book me, obviously. But let's throw all the gigs aside. So let's forget about all these gigs. These are all fabulous. You know, I'm doing all these bookings, and, you know, hopefully I do more this year. But there's things this year that I'd like to do that I haven't obviously done much before, and one of them is actually music videos. Now, I've touched on some music videos before, but I haven't really done too much with them, and I like the idea with music videos. I think music videos can be a really cool thing, and you can really create some scenes with music videos. I want to go to different locations to shoot different music videos and all the rest of it, as I think that would be a really, really cool thing to do. Get some really cool music videos done, and stuff like that. So, you know, doing music videos, I think, would be a really, really cool thing to try and experiment with, because it's hard as well when you're like a hardcore MC, and you do like a lot of bounce and power stomp, Marquina. You know, they're not really the easiest thing to pop a music video out of. But I think if we really put the right thought to it, obviously I can do some music videos to some of my raps and stuff, but I would love to do more music videos, because I really feel like through all the time that I've MC'd over the past 4 years and a half, that I just haven't really touched much on music videos or done much with them that I maybe should have done, if that makes sense. So, bro, do you live in Driffield? Yeah, I do, bruv. So music videos, obviously, definitely. And the second thing is, my good friend Ant actually reminded me of this today. We were talking about something, and I sent him something ages ago that I was going to do. And I never did it, and it's merchandise, really. I'd love to do more merchandise. I had so many ideas, like early on last year and late 2018. I was going to do all these like lyric clothing that would have like some of my lyrics on. I was going to do like you know, I was gonna do so much with merchandise. I was gonna do a Scarborough Beach T-shirt, and probably like I just don't even know, to be fair with you. But I had loads of cool plans for merchandise stuff. And yeah, this is so you no, I don't. And to even enlighten on this even further, I remember a good while ago now. This could even nearly be going on 2 years. I was in the pub and someone said, make a polo shirt with MC Noble on and I'll buy it. And I said, I'll make a polo shirt with my logo on and all of this stuff. And then a couple of weeks went by. Did you ever do that polo shirt? No, I'm still thinking about doing it. A couple of weeks later, did you do that polo shirt? You should still definitely do one. That polo shirt would really work with a logo on. I was like, yeah, I want to do it. And then I looked at a design for a polo shirt, but I never did the polo shirt, and I've still never done the polo shirt. And I would have loved, I want to do that this year, a polo shirt, and I want to do more with some merchandise and some clothing. And finally, really last but not least, with the inspirements of the Keeping It Core gig, I would really like to go to some different places that I haven't been. That's one thing, like whether it's to a rave, whether it's to do a gig, or whether it's just to go to a rave, to go to the rave. But you know, there's a few places where you see like these good raves happening, like Ravers Reunited, and you know, you see some of these like big, you know, like good bounce nights in Wigan. You see some decent little raves going up towards Scotland. And to be fair with you, like, you know, with doing this Keeping It Core and getting the chance to go like down to Longbridge in Birmingham, you know, I'm excited, and not just to do the gig. You know, I'm excited for the train journey, to explore the food places and the shops, and you know, I'm sort of excited about everything, really. I just think, you know, you see a lot of these events going about, bounce nights, hardcore nights. It would be nice just to get down to some in the summertime. I mean, obviously last summer I went to Donfest, which was near Rotherham, which I'd never really been to that field place before, in that little village near there. But I don't know, I think like going to some different places, meeting some different DJs, or seeing some DJs that I've not actually seen. I've never seen like Dougal or anybody actually live. I'd love to see somebody like Dougal, and same with some other people that I actually haven't seen. I'd love to see them, obviously. And I just think, you know, this year I would really like to just go to a, you know, even if I just went to if I just went to one rave somewhere that was a little bit further, you know, if I just did one in the summer or something, you know, if I weren't booked for it and I just went for the entertainment purpose, if I just did one in the summer and went somewhere to a town or a village or a city that I'd never been before, you know, whether it was on my own or with a friend, I think I'd be really quite satisfied. I'm not obviously talking about travelling the country in 1 year, but you know, to go somewhere that I've never been would be quite cool. But yeah, the music video is a goal, the clothing is a goal, so meaning that I want to set the goal to actually do them. Travelling to another place, it's not a goal, but it's something that I would like to do. And obviously another goal is to keep getting the bookings. We got one February, so January, February, March, they're all, you know, got something happening. So there we go, people. So that's going to do it. So please like, comment, share if you are new. We'll see you guys in the next stream. Peace.